Hey, it's time to answer Buddy Bopper's thread. Here we go. Name, show, one record you purchased because you have an emotional connection to one song. And there are a lot of songs, I'm sure, for all of us where we've done this, but I'll go back to one that really is part of my foundation of who I am, and that is Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. I scrimped and saved to buy this when I was maybe 15, maybe. I heard the song Nights in White Satin. So no, I'm seeing it's 67. It goes back to probably when I was 14, probably my freshman year in high school. And Justin Hayward's voice, the way that he sang Oh How I Love You with that angst and that slight pain, just really touched me and just called out to me. In my adolescence, I had a lot of depression. As I told you, I have a clinical diagnosis of depression. And I was suicidal at different times. I could go into a number of stories about what it was about. It was about things. It was conscious, as a kid. I wasn't just feeling like I'm some all alone alien all in my head. There were many events that fed it. But pop music, the Beatles and the British sound really were lifesavers to me. Much of the abuse and the chaos that I experienced in my life had the soundtrack of R&B and blues to it, which I've said before, has really, it's corrupted that for me. I mean, I love that music, but it's, I go away from it because it's not my safe place. So consequently, Justin Hayward's voice on the song Nights in White Satin with her on the radio just reached out and really gave me a lifeline. I was pretty suicidal at many times and did actually make attempts. I have scars. I ain't gonna show them. So that's one of the records that I purchased because of an emotional connection. The next question is, show one record that was beat and you overpaid for it in order to fill a hole in your collection. Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame, you come to mind right away because that record for me was, that I can remember, there may be others, is Chrome by Catherine Whale. So now, as you see, the cover's in pretty decent shape. Actually, the cover's in good shape. But when I put this on after I bought it, I've had this for several years. I don't know how many years I've had this. I did not get it when it came out, so I had to buy it online, and I paid $70 for this. And the record looks pretty good, but it plays rougher than it looks. And I was disappointed when I dropped the needle on this baby. I was frankly pissed that I'd paid so much and it was so noisy. So that's the answer to number 2. Name, show, one song or album that shoots you straight back to the first time you heard it. What was the situation? The one that comes to mind right away is another one I want to share from my early years, and that is the album by the band The Children, Rebirth. And this is a reissue on Atco, but I bought it as a kid. I think I was maybe 14 or 15 when I bought this. As a cutout, as you can see, this album is my old copy. I wrote my name on it twice. I was just a child. I even colored in the Atco logo. I mean, the things that you do as a when you're a kid. Not to put down to childhood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm just being real straight about how when you're a kid, you don't know half of what you're doing and half of what you're not doing. And so I can distinctly remember finding this it was like Arden's, the precursor to Target here in America. I found this for, I believe, less than $1. And I think I had all of $1. And this was the coolest cover of the ones that I found that day. I remember very specifically how I just knew this was going to be good. It was a record that I could afford. I was a poor, broke-ass kid, you know what I'm saying? I could afford this. And when I got it home, and I remember the first time I put it on, and the first, just the way it starts, right away, it was like, yeah, I got a good record. It's pop, but it's got that psychedelic shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's got that vision. And then it's got Mellotron too. When the Mellotron kicked in at the end of the first song, I was in heaven. Never forget the first time I dropped the needle on this. It's been reissued, but I love this copy so much, even though I have been replacing many records. I don't even think I would replace this one. This one is so special to me. It takes me right back to that. Right back to the... Love that album. Children Rebirth. The Cassell Webb, the woman that was singing in the band, she's gone on to do some things, some ambient and progressive type things. Cassell Webb. Can't call any of the records right away. Stephen Perrone, he must have done something too. Anyway, that's the answer to that question, okay? What is your ritual whilst listening to records? Well, I try to multitask nowadays more than what I used to. My old ritual forever was to find a nice block of time, sit and get a good buzz, you know, for real, and really dive into the music. Life is so busy forever that I play music while I'm on the computer, I play music while I'm doing housework, I play music when I'm writing, when I'm corresponding, when I'm surfing, and the surfing does not involve audio. I listen to music when I go to bed, and I know that I can afford to listen for a while, because if I go to bed listening, I'll stay awake listening, which a lot of times is not good. So that's the main thing is, and then again, when I'm not too tired, I like to sit in my living room and listen to my good stereo, the good speakers, because it sounds so good out there compared to this stereo in here. It's remarkable. And if I'm not too tired, it's wonderful. But you know what I really like doing out in the other room is listening to music out there with other people, having a little conversation. But mostly I like it when I have friends who come by who really want to listen to music with me. And I still do, thankfully, have friends that like to do that. The leader of Endrima, Nick Fackler, the film director, when he has time, we love to just really chill and make movies with the music in our minds. Number 5, if you're in a band, tell us about your most embarrassing moment. Well, I got a bunch of them. I'm just going to share a couple. I've got a few. I've mostly enjoyed playing rock, and back in the day I played a lot of hard rock and metal even, you know. The bald-headed black guy in the rock band is kind of how I'm known in Nebraska. I've been playing in bands since the 70s. One of the bands I was in, maybe 1979, it was a hard rock band called Full Clip, and everyone else in the band besides me were bikers, literally. It relates to the Hells Angels story, if any of you folks remember that. But we used to play regularly at this nightclub that someone just recently told me the name of it. I had forgotten it. And said, oh, that's the place, and I've forgotten again. But anyway, it was a small club, maybe would hold maybe 80 people. And there was a proper stage, and then there was a dance floor, and then right past the dance floor was a rail that separated the seating, you know what I'm saying? I remember this one night we're playing, and there's hardly anybody there. This is back when I'm like 20 years old or so, you know? Or I'm bad with chronology. I'm in my early to mid-20s, okay? And we're rocking out. Couldn't tell you the song, but we played a lot of stuff like Aerosmith, Bob Seger, and Ted Nugent, and we even got into punk, Ramones, and Boomtown Rats. But we're rocking. Oh, we did Van Halen too, you know. So we're rocking out to something. And I jump off the stage, do a splits off the stage with my bass. I jump too far, and I go to rock like this, and I smashed my head right into the railing. You know, come up, and my head's gushing with blood. You know, my head is reeling, spinning out. What the hell have I just done? I managed to get through the song. That ain't the only time I did it. This happened one time at a punk rock show. I was in the band RAF, and we're opening for the band Capital Punishment from California, I think they were. Love those guys. Great band. We're playing at this little place called the Brickyard in Lincoln, just a tiny dive. There's not even a stage, and so I don't know what it is I've hit my head on. I think what it was is I hit my head on the headstock of the guitar player Paul, and it just, again, just blood is everywhere. And the kids are already moshing. They see the blood and they see me, and they just went wild. And it was just such a moment that, regardless of how much pain I was in and how blind I was, I just charged on through the song. It was a never. I suppose I should be embarrassed. Damn, that was a moment of glory. The first one was embarrassing. That second one was like, oh, that was an awesome moment. I mean, I paid dearly for it. I'm amazed I don't have a permanent scar. All right. Number 6. What artist, band, or genre are you focusing on at the moment? There's always artists that I'm looking to be focused on. Lately, I've been on a Zappa kick. I've been on a Bowie kick. Boris. I mean, I had some Boris for a while, and then in this last year, they really, through the vinyl community, and I'll give props to Dan from Canada, looking at his Boris discography. He told me, man, I got to get some more of that stuff. Always looking for that stuff. I don't find it that I can afford anymore too much, but I'm always looking for YMO, Sakamoto, Hosono stuff. Always looking for stuff on the Brain label. Really, my taste and my interest is pretty consistent, which is I'm looking for the far out good stuff. I'm looking for the good stuff. That's not a put down to anything else. That's how it is for Dereck. We're looking for the stuff that's good stuff to Dereck. And good stuff for me is more far out, more individual. I love psychedelia. I love electronics. I love music that creates an inner space that I can dream in or create in. I love it. I'm always looking for music like that. Always. Buddy Bopper, great thread. It took me a while to answer because I wanted to answer it well. And here it is.